Welcome back. This is where we stopped in our last video. The viruses hover around man. His health index has fallen to 0 and his mask has turned red completely. The infection is severe and he must get medical help. His life value is 1 and this time if he gets timely medical help, he will get one more life. He must be alerted. A beep sound should alert him and a danger warning should be visible on the screen. This is how the game will develop. Let us code this part. To implement this, we must create two functions and make a few additions in the man-virus collision segment. First, we will create the function emergency. We will create a new font, font1, to display the text on the screen. Have a look at the code. Now I will add one new line of code. The font is slightly bigger than the one we created for displaying score. The size of the letter was 32. Here we have increased it to 40. Now we will create two texts in red color. First line of the text alerts about the emergency and the second line gives the instruction to go for medical help in 15 seconds. To put it on the screen, we will create a function emergency. Here is a code. You can see here for both the texts we have related the placement on the screen to the width of the screen so that it will be placed in the middle of the screen. We have used getWidth method of Pygames to find out the size of the text. At the same time, when the text is placed on the screen, the Corona Warrior should be given a voice alert in the form of a beep beep. For this, we will create a function beep. I have downloaded a sound clip for the purpose and stored it in the file beep-02.wav in the game directory. To play a sound, Mixer must be available in Pygame. We have already imported Mixer in a previous segment when we wanted to add sound to Bulletfire. Now let's have a look at the code for the function beep. We have stored the sound clip in the variable beep sound. Now we can play it using the sound.play method. We must also make some additions in the man-virus collision segment. Let's see how to do it. Have a look at the collision between man and virus segment. This is the code I just added. Due to continuous contact with the virus, health index has gone down to 0. Now we will add a condition. If health equal to 0 and life val equal to 1, we will call the functions beep and emergency from here. We will save the code and run it. Now have a look. The man is getting infected with virus. The text messages should flash and sound the beep beep alert, but the screen is hanging. Let us see what has gone wrong. Line 171 in module, if health equal to 0 and life val equal to 1, name error. That's it. We have set a condition in the man-virus collision segment. If health equals 0 and life val equal to 1, but we are yet to define life val. We will do it later. But I will, for the limited purpose of testing the functions emergency and beep, alter the conditions to just if health equal to 0. Let me do it. I will alter it here. We will Save and run it. Let us try again. It's working. The text message is flashing and the alert beep beep is sounding. Now the warrior must dart to the medical aid post. Of course, we will set up a medical aid post to which he can run to and get himself energized. Once contact is made with the medical aid post, his health will be restored to 100 and his mask will turn green. His life value will be incremented to 2 and that is his final life. He can now return to battle with the viruses. Let us see how to code it. Let's see this code. I have created a variable lifeval and stored a value of 1 to it. When his mask turns red completely for the first time, the value is incremented to 2. We will display the life value stored in lifeval at the top right corner of the screen. We have defined the x and y coordinates as lives x and lives y. Please have a look at this function. We have already created a font object font for displaying the score. We will use this to display the life val. We will create a function display lives. We will render the life value in our desired color to the variable lives and blit it on the screen. While putting it on the screen, we have made the calculation of the position based on the screen width. Lives.getWidth gives us the width of the text, which we have deducted from the screen width. I have deducted another 10 pixels to prevent the text from going to the extreme margin. We will call the display lives function from within the while loop. Life value will be displayed at the top right corner. Let us run the code and see. You can see the life value is displayed at the top right corner. Now we will set up a medical aid post. I have downloaded an image for a medical aid post and kept it in the game directory as firstaid.png. Let us define the medical aid post. Have a look at this code. We have loaded the image firstaid.png to the variable firstaid, and we have also set the x and y coordinate. It will be displayed somewhere at the bottom right corner. We have linked the x coordinate to width of the screen by setting it as width minus 150 so that the image will not go off screen even when we reduce the screen size. We will create a function display first aid to blit it on the screen. Now we will call the display first aid function from within the while loop. We will save it and run it. You can see our first aid post is displayed at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can see that we have related the position of the x coordinate of the medical aid post first aid x to the screen width. Otherwise, if we want to play the game in a smaller screen and reduce the screen width, the medical aid post will go off screen. Now let's see it. I will change the width of the screen to 1000. We will save it and run it. You can see the medical aid post is well within the screen and the life value also is exhibited in our screen. Had we not linked it to the width of the screen, had we defined in absolute pixels, when we reduce the size of the screen, it would have gone off screen. but you can see there is no problem here. It is working fine. Now I'll define the first aid X coordinate as 1375 pixels, that is the present size of the screen, minus 150 pixels to take care of the margin required. I will change the size of the screen to 1000. I will save it and run it so that you can see the difference. You can see the first aid box is off screen, whereas the life value which we have linked to the width of the screen represented in the variable is very much on the screen. That is why we wanted to link it to the variable width. Once the man on his first life with health index 0 and a completely red mask make contact with the medical aid post, the health index must be restored to 100. The mask should turn to green. His life value should be incremented to 2. Now let us see how to code it. First, we have to determine whether the man has made contact with the health aid post. For this, we will create a function isFirstAidCollision. Have a look at this function. We will use the same math formula we used to determine bullet virus and man virus collision here also. If man is within 20 pixels of the health aid post, we will take it that a contact has been made. This function returns the value true when the man makes a contact with the first aid post. Let's see what happens next. Have a look at this code. The isCollision function is run here and its values stored to collision first aid. If collision first aid is true, that is, if a contact has been made by the man with the first aid post, his life value is incremented to 2 and his health is restored to 100. Now his mask should automatically go green. Let's save the code, run it and see. We will see what happens. The danger signal is sounded. He can run to the first aid post. His mask is now green. He can go back to take up his fight once again. In this video, we place the codes to display the life value of the warrior on the screen. Tracking of life value of the warrior is essential because he is allowed 2 lives. We saw how an audio alert is sounded and how the warnings are displayed on the screen when the mask of the warrior has turned completely red. We also saw how on reaching the medical aid post his health index is restored to 100 and the color of the mask turned to green. We also incremented the life value to 2. In the next video, we will further align the coding to our game plot and discuss about the frame rate per second. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please subscribe to our channel. Please use the comment section to communicate with us. We would very much appreciate your feedback. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon with the next video.